that's available at WLOX.com, where you can go to our website at WLOX.com and literally watch this newscast as it's happening on our streaming video. We've gotten some emails from folks all around the world. I mean around the world. We have a phone call now from a gentleman by the name of Robert. He is in Duluth, Minnesota, watching us live. Robert, can you hear us? Robert from Duluth, Minnesota on line 1. Line 1. This is Robert from Duluth, Minnesota. Robert, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hi. You're watching us on streaming video, huh? From Minnesota.
I certainly am.
Fantastic.
This is probably the greatest coverage there is of this hurricane.
Well,
I've never found anything else online so far that even comes close to it.
Well, thank you. What thoughts go through your mind, Robert, as you sit there in Duluth, Minnesota, hundreds of miles from here, and you see what's happening out there just outside our front door?
Well, I lived in Miami Beach, Florida for a long time, and I went through a few hurricanes, so I don't envy you guys at all.
Now, do you have any connection to the Mississippi coast?
All except for the gambling in your casinos down there, no.
So no family or anything like that?
You've made the visit before, Robert? You've been here before?
I have. I've been to Biloxi a number of times.
Oh, good. How often do you make the trip down?
Probably once every couple of years.
Okay, well, we'll keep the water warm for you. Unfortunately, that also breeds hurricanes, but, you know, it's just a paradox, Robert. How's the weather up in Duluth this morning?
It's cool. It's nice and beautiful and sunny during the day, and it's a little cool in the evenings because the seasons are starting to change up here.
Yeah.
Do you have room for any evacuees up there in your house? Just kidding,
Not in my house.
Like maybe a couple of people from WLOX?
Yeah, WLOX people can come up here.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
I'll even show them the sites and let them meet the mayor.
Robert, let me ask you a question about your part of the world and when you have inclement weather, such as winter storms. Do you have a lot in the way of television coverage, much as what you're seeing here on WLOX? Do you have that type of coverage of winter storms that would occur in Duluth?
No. It's an everyday occurrence in the winter.
Yeah, it is. It is, isn't it? What's that old joke? We have in Duluth, we have 2 seasons, winter and the 4th of July.
That's it. That's Duluth, you bet.
Thank you, Robert, for your call. Thank you for joining us.
Robert, before you go off the phone, though, let me ask you, how did you find out that we were on streaming video?
I went to Mississippi TV stations on MSN search. And I clicked on one of the links there, and it showed me your channel and said that you were a live streaming channel, and I've been with you all day long.
That's tremendous. That really is tremendous. I don't know if you heard me mention it or not, we've gotten emails from folks from as far away as Iraq, Okinawa, so on and so forth, who were doing the same thing that you're doing, watching us on streaming video.
Thank you again for your call, Robert, and for joining us this morning.
You know, it's amazing to me, Tommy, both of us are of the same era, and I can remember when in the newsroom there was an manual typewriter, and there was a clanging Associated Press news wire, and there was no such thing as the computers and streaming video and so on and so forth. And it just blows me away, being from the generation I'm from, that this man and others, for matter of fact, as we said earlier, in Okinawa, for instance, and another person in Japan, watching us on a computer.
We have really come a long way. The world has come a long way. By the way, the tornado watch has been extended until noon now for our area, as well as, in other words, southern Mississippi, southeast Louisiana, and southern Alabama. Again, a tornado watch, which is obvious, in effect until noon time today. It is now 33 minutes after 2.
I think we have some new video in. Photojournalist Tony Miles has just returned from where she was, and I'm not exactly sure where she was, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at that video now, shot by Tony Miles. Look at that, Tommy. That's pretty nasty. Yeah,
it was really wet when wherever Tony was.
Biloxi.
Like she was out near the President Casino area, because she came in soaking.
Yeah.
I was looking out the back door when she came in.
President Casino, where waves are crashing against the seawall there, almost all the way to Highway 90. This just a short while ago, video shot by WLOX reporter, weekend assignment editor Tony Miles.
Well,
it's just going to get worse.
Video speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's talk for a moment about some things that Biloxi Mayor A.J. Holloway has had to say. And this is on their website, the City of Biloxi's website. He was asked several questions. Among those questions, what's the status of things in Biloxi at the moment? The mayor said we have a fire department, about 200 firefighters. 2/3 of those people, 2 of our 3 shifts are on duty right now. Our police department is also ramped up. Here's an interesting question. He was asked, how do you think the floating casino barges will fare along Biloxi's shoreline? Here's what the mayor had to say. He said casino mooring systems are designed to withstand winds of 155 miles per hour and a tidal surge of 15 feet. So this will be a huge test, considering we're now being told that winds could get as high as 140 miles per hour sometime Monday, and a storm surge that will be substantial, to say the least. Another interesting comment the mayor had here when asked about what happens next. He said, and this is coming from a lifelong resident, of course, Mayor Holloway of Biloxi. He said, we know the people of Biloxi have been survivors for 300 years, and we're going to survive this. He could be speaking of the entire Mississippi Coast for that matter. The mayor said that people need to stay where they are at this point, continue to monitor the news reports. But he said, you know, that we are survivors. We expect major damage. We will get through this, and so be it.
Yeah.
From Biloxi Mayor.